Listen closely. The blood moon eclipse of September 7th, 2025, is not just another celestial event. This total lunar eclipse in Pisces carries the power to fundamentally transform each zodiac sign in ways that will echo through the remainder of the year and beyond. This is a cosmic reset button being pressed, and how it affects you depends entirely on your zodiac blueprint. This eclipse combines three potent astrological forces. First, we have a full moon at its peak intensity, representing culmination and revelation. Second, the eclipse factor amplifies this energy exponentially, creating a portal of accelerated karma and forced conclusions. Third, this occurs in Pisces, the final sign of the zodiac, governing dissolution, spiritual awakening, and the release of what no longer serves our highest path. The 72 hours preceding this eclipse, September 4th through 6th, are when each sign will begin experiencing the preliminary waves of transformation. Your sun sign, moon sign, and rising sign will all be activated, but your sun sign carries the primary blueprint for how this cosmic event will reshape your reality. Aries, this blood moon eclipse strikes your 12th house of subconscious patterns, hidden enemies, and spiritual release. The warrior energy that defines you is being asked to surrender control and trust a process that cannot be conquered through force. You will find yourself confronting self-sabotaging patterns that have been operating below your conscious awareness. Dreams become incredibly vivid, potentially showing you past life connections or revealing the root causes of current relationship dynamics. The transformation for Aries involves releasing the need to fight battles that are not truly yours and learning to distinguish between productive action and reactive aggression. Financially, hidden debts or forgotten investments may surface. Spiritually, you are being prepared for a profound awakening that requires you to let go of the ego's need to control every outcome. The key for Aries during this eclipse is to practice stillness, something that goes against your natural impulse, but is essential for the deep healing that wants to occur. Taurus, the eclipse illuminates your 11th house of friendships, group associations, and future dreams. Your fixed earth nature craves stability, but this blood moon is shaking up your social foundations and forcing you to examine which connections truly align with your evolving values. Long-term friendships may reach natural completion points, not through conflict, but through the recognition that you have grown in different directions. Your relationship with money and material security undergoes a philosophical shift. The transformation for Taurus involves releasing attachments to people, possessions, or plans that were based on who you used to be rather than who you are becoming. Professional networks and business partnerships face truth tests. You may discover that certain collaborative efforts have been draining your resources without providing mutual benefit. The eclipse gifts you with clarity about your authentic tribe, those who support your highest growth rather than keeping you comfortable in familiar patterns. Your challenge is to trust that releasing what feels secure but stagnant will create space for connections and opportunities that truly nourish your soul. Gemini, this eclipse activates your 10th house of career, reputation, and public identity. Your mercurial nature has likely scattered your professional energy across multiple interests, but this blood moon demands focus and authentic expression. The transformation involves releasing career paths or professional identities that were chosen to please others or meet external expectations rather than express your true gifts. Communication, your natural strength, becomes the vehicle for this transformation. You may find yourself speaking truths in professional settings that you have avoided, or alternatively, choosing strategic silence where you once scattered your energy through excessive talking. Your reputation undergoes a reset, potentially through the completion of a major project or the conclusion of a professional relationship that has run its course. The eclipse reveals where your intellectual gifts have been undervalued or misdirected. For some Gemini natives, This marks the beginning of a transition from employee to entrepreneur, or from generalist to specialist. The key is to trust your intuitive knowing about which professional direction truly excites your mind and serves your long-term growth, even if it means releasing the safety of familiar but unfulfilling work. Cancer, the eclipse occurs in your ninth house of higher learning, philosophy, and expanded horizons. As a water sign like Pisces, you are particularly sensitive to this lunar event, feeling its effects both emotionally and psychically. Your transformation involves releasing limiting beliefs about what is possible for your life and stepping into a broader vision of your potential. Educational pursuits, legal matters, or publishing projects that have been in limbo reach definitive conclusions. Your relationship with spirituality and personal philosophy undergoes profound evolution. Belief systems that once provided comfort may no longer resonate with your expanding consciousness. The eclipse may trigger travel opportunities or connections with foreign cultures that shift your perspective permanently. For Cancer, this is about releasing the safety of familiar viewpoints and embracing a more expansive understanding of truth. Your intuitive abilities, already strong, become heightened to the point where you can no longer ignore psychic impressions or gut feelings about people and situations. The challenge is to trust your inner knowing, even when it contradicts the opinions of family members or cultural conditioning that previously guided your decisions. Leo, this blood moon eclipse strikes your eighth house of transformation, shared resources, and psychological depths. Your solar nature prefers the spotlight and conscious expression, but this eclipse pulls you into the underworld of your psyche for deep healing work. The transformation involves releasing patterns of pride or ego attachment that have prevented authentic intimacy in your relationships. Joint finances, investments, or shared resources with partners undergo significant shifts. You may discover hidden assets or, conversely, find that financial partnerships are not as solid as they appeared. Your relationship with power, both personal and sexual, is being restructured. The eclipse reveals where you have been giving your power away, or alternatively, using power in ways that diminish rather than elevate others. Psychologically, this is a time of death and rebirth for Leo. Old versions of yourself that were built on external validation or performance are dissolving to make space for authentic self-expression rooted in genuine self-worth. Your creative gifts may take a more serious or transformative direction, moving from entertainment to healing or empowerment. The key is to embrace the temporary discomfort of not knowing who you are becoming while trusting that your essential radiance will shine even brighter once this deep work is complete. Virgo, the eclipse illuminates your seventh house of partnerships, marriage, and open enemies. Your analytical nature has likely been cataloging the flaws and imbalances in your closest relationships, and this blood moon brings these assessments to a head. The transformation involves releasing perfectionist expectations of others and learning to accept love and partnership in imperfect but authentic forms. Existing partnerships, both romantic and business, face truth tests that reveal their fundamental compatibility or lack thereof. The eclipse does not create problems, but rather illuminates what has been building beneath the surface. Your service-oriented nature may have attracted relationships where you give more than you receive, and this cosmic event demands rebalancing. Legal matters or contracts reach resolution, often in ways that free you from obligations that have become burdensome. The transformation for Virgo involves learning to receive support and love without feeling the need to earn it through service or perfection. Your standards for relationships evolve from seeking someone who meets your criteria to recognizing someone who supports your authentic growth. This may mean releasing relationships that were built on mutual dysfunction or codependency, creating space for connections based on mutual respect and genuine compatibility. Libra, this eclipse activates your sixth house of daily routines, health, and service. Your natural desire for balance and harmony is being challenged to examine where you have been maintaining false peace at the expense of your well-being. The transformation involves releasing work situations, health habits, or service commitments that drain your energy without providing fulfillment or fair compensation. Your body becomes a messenger during this eclipse, potentially manifesting symptoms that force you to address underlying imbalances you have been ignoring. Employment situations reach natural conclusion points, either through completion of projects or recognition that your skills are not being properly utilized. The eclipse reveals where your desire to please others has led to overcommitment and burnout. Your daily routines undergo complete restructuring as you learn to prioritize self-care and authentic service over people-pleasing and conflict avoidance. Health issues that have been chronic or mysterious may finally receive proper diagnosis or treatment. For Libra, this eclipse teaches the difference between true harmony and superficial peacekeeping. The transformation requires you to risk temporary discord in relationships or work situations in order to establish genuine balance based on mutual respect, rather than your constant accommodation of others' needs. Scorpio, the blood moon eclipse occurs in your fifth house of creativity, romance, and authentic self-expression. As a fellow water sign, you feel this eclipse intensely, particularly in matters of the heart and creative passion. The transformation involves releasing relationships or creative projects that were based on obsession, control, or unhealed psychological patterns, rather than genuine love and inspiration. Romantic relationships undergo profound shifts, with some reaching deeper levels of intimacy and others ending as their karmic purpose completes. Your relationship with your own creative power is being restructured. Previous creative blocks or fears about sharing your gifts publicly begin dissolving. The eclipse may trigger pregnancy, adoption, or significant developments involving children, either your own or those in your care. Your approach to pleasure and play evolves from intensity and drama to genuine joy and spontaneous expression. For Scorpio, this eclipse teaches the difference between love and possession, between creative passion and ego-driven achievement. Financial investments or speculative ventures reach resolution, often teaching valuable lessons about risk and intuitive decision-making. The key is to trust your deep emotional knowing while releasing the need to control outcomes through manipulation or withholding your authentic feelings. Sagittarius, this eclipse illuminates your fourth house of home, family, and emotional foundations. Your freedom-loving nature may have avoided dealing with family dynamics or domestic responsibilities, but this blood moon demands attention to your roots and emotional security. The transformation involves releasing family patterns, inherited beliefs, or living situations that limit your authentic expression and spiritual growth. Real estate matters, family inheritances, or domestic arrangements reach definitive conclusions. Your relationship with your parents or parental figures undergoes significant shifts, potentially through honest conversations that clear long-standing misunderstandings. The eclipse reveals where your need for adventure and expansion has been driven by avoidance of emotional intimacy rather than genuine growth. Your concept of home and belonging evolves from geographic location to internal sense of security and emotional authenticity. Family secrets or hidden information about your ancestry may come to light, providing missing pieces to your personal history. For Sagittarius, this eclipse teaches that true freedom comes not from running away from emotional complexity, but from creating a solid emotional foundation that supports your adventures and philosophical explorations. Your challenge is to balance your need for expansion with commitment to the people and places that truly nurture your soul. Capricorn, the eclipse activates your third house of communication, siblings, and immediate environment. Your practical earth sign nature has likely been focused on long-term goals, but this blood moon brings attention to daily communications and local relationships that require healing or completion. The transformation involves releasing communication patterns that are based on authority or control, rather than genuine exchange and mutual learning. Relationships with siblings, neighbors, or close colleagues undergo significant shifts as old resentments or misunderstandings finally surface for resolution. Your approach to learning and sharing information evolves from rigid adherence to established facts toward intuitive understanding and emotional intelligence. Transportation, technology, or communication devices may require replacement or repair, symbolizing the need to update how you connect with others. The eclipse reveals where your natural leadership abilities have been expressed through criticism or harsh judgment rather than supportive guidance. Writing, teaching, or communication projects that have been stalled suddenly gain momentum or reach natural completion points. For Capricorn, this eclipse teaches the importance of horizontal relationships based on mutual respect, rather than vertical relationships based on hierarchy and control. Your transformation involves learning to communicate your wisdom and experience in ways that empower others rather than establishing your superiority. Aquarius, this blood moon eclipse strikes your second house of personal resources, self-worth, and material security. Your innovative nature often focuses on future possibilities and social causes, but this eclipse demands attention to your relationship with money, possessions, and personal value. The transformation involves releasing financial patterns or self-worth issues that stem from feeling different or misunderstood by mainstream society. Your unique gifts and talents may finally receive proper recognition or compensation after a period of being undervalued. Possessions that no longer align with your evolving identity are naturally released, creating space for resources that support your authentic expression. The eclipse reveals where your desire to be different has led to financial instability or rejection of practical concerns that actually support your humanitarian goals. Your relationship with money evolves from seeing it as corrupting or limiting to recognizing it as a tool for creating positive change. Income sources undergo restructuring, potentially through the completion of one stream and the beginning of another that better aligns with your values. For Aquarius, this eclipse teaches that financial security and material comfort can actually enhance your ability to serve humanity rather than compromise your ideals. The challenge is to embrace practical responsibility while maintaining your innovative vision and commitment to social progress. Pisces, this blood moon eclipse occurs in your first house of identity, appearance, and personal presence. As the sign hosting this powerful eclipse, you experience the most intense and comprehensive transformation of all the zodiac signs. This is your cosmic rebirth, a complete restructuring of how you see yourself and how others perceive you. The transformation involves releasing victim consciousness, martyrdom patterns, and the tendency to lose yourself in others' needs or emotions. Your psychic sensitivity, already heightened, becomes a clear channel for divine guidance rather than overwhelming emotional absorption. Your physical appearance may undergo changes that reflect your inner transformation, whether through weight loss, new style choices, or improved health and vitality. Relationships that were based on your role as the rescuer or the rescued naturally conclude as you step into your power as a sovereign individual. Your artistic or spiritual gifts receive recognition and support from unexpected sources. The eclipse reveals where your compassion has been misdirected toward enabling others' dysfunction rather than supporting their highest growth. Your identity evolves from being defined by your suffering or sensitivity to being recognized for your wisdom, healing abilities, and spiritual insight. For Pisces, this eclipse marks the end of a major life chapter and the beginning of a new cycle where you lead with your gifts rather than your wounds. The challenge is to maintain your natural compassion while establishing healthy boundaries that protect your energy and allow your light to shine clearly. Take a moment right now and share in the comments which zodiac sign you are and what area of your life has been feeling the most pressure or anticipation lately. Are you noticing any of these pre-eclipse energies showing up in your relationships, career, or inner world? Your experience helps confirm the cosmic patterns we are all navigating together. The 72-hour window preceding this eclipse is crucial for all signs. This is when the preliminary waves of transformation begin manifesting in your external reality. Pay attention to conversations that carry unusual weight, documents or information that appears unexpectedly, and dreams that feel more like visions than random subconscious processing. Your physical body serves as an early warning system during this time. Disrupted sleep patterns, particularly waking between 3 and 5 a.m., indicate your nervous system is processing the incoming cosmic frequencies. Vivid dreams featuring people from your past often represent old patterns or relationships that are ready for release. A feeling of pressure in your chest or throat area suggests emotions or truths that need expression. The external signs vary by zodiac sign, but follow similar patterns. For fire signs Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, watch for sudden clarity about situations you have been avoiding or impulsive urges to make dramatic changes. The key is to feel the energy without acting on it immediately. For earth signs Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, practical matters that have been stable may suddenly require attention or decision-making. This is the universe testing the foundations of your security. For air signs Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, communication becomes the primary vehicle for transformation. Conversations that have been avoided suddenly become unavoidable, or information comes to light that changes your perspective. For water signs Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, emotional and intuitive experiences intensify dramatically. Trust your psychic impressions and emotional responses, as they are accurately reading the energetic environment. The most important guidance for all signs during this pre-eclipse period is to observe without immediately reacting. This is a time for gathering information, not making permanent decisions. The clarity you seek will arrive at the moment of the eclipse itself. Your job until then is to witness what is being revealed without forcing conclusions or taking irreversible actions. Create a daily practice of writing down your observations, dreams, and intuitive impressions. This external recording helps process the intensity while creating a record of your transformation. Spend time in nature, particularly near water if possible, as this helps ground the Piscean energy and prevents emotional overwhelm. Avoid making major purchases, signing important contracts, or having relationship-defining conversations until after September 8th, when the eclipse energy has settled. The information you are receiving now is accurate, but your emotional state may be too volatile for optimal decision-making. Each zodiac sign will emerge from this eclipse fundamentally changed, but the nature of that change depends on your willingness to release what no longer serves your highest evolution. The blood moon in Pisces offers the gift of spiritual awakening and emotional liberation, but only if you cooperate with the process rather than resisting it. This eclipse marks the end of a collective chapter that began with previous eclipse cycles. The themes being completed now have been building for 18 months to 2 years. Look back to early 2023 for the original seeds of what is now reaching conclusion. The resolution you experience on September 7th provides the foundation for the next major cycle of growth and manifestation. Your zodiac sign provides the blueprint, but your individual birth chart, particularly the house placement of this eclipse, determines the specific life area most affected. If you know your rising sign, read that interpretation as well, as it shows how the transformation will manifest in your external circumstances. The power of this blood moon eclipse lies not in its ability to create change, but in its capacity to reveal what is already true and accelerate the natural consequences of your choices and patterns. It serves as a cosmic mirror, showing you exactly where you stand on your evolutionary path and what must be released for your next level of growth. Trust the process, honor the intensity, and remember that what appears to be ending is actually creating space for something far more aligned with your authentic self to emerge. This eclipse is not happening to you, it is happening for you, providing the cosmic support necessary for your soul's next chapter of expression and service. The transformation begins now, reaches its peak on September 7th, and integrates over the following weeks. Your conscious participation in this process determines whether you experience it as crisis or opportunity, as loss or liberation. Choose awareness, choose trust, and choose to embrace the magnificent being you are becoming through this powerful cosmic initiation.